Surely now I should be able to move on. Instead, I felt caught in an emotional time warp. I yearned for the day I would wake up and know that deep inside me the wounds had healed. But at the same time, I still fantasized about a reunion with him. I had become an emotional schizophrenic. It wasn't like I hadn't tried. I'd seen a therapist, a psychologist, and a palm reader. I'd read heaps of self-help books, even done an exercise from one. Feeling a little stupid as I'd stared into the mirror visualising Jake's face instead of my own tear-swollen reflection, while quoting lines from different movies, sitcoms, and songs. Tomorrow is another day. Hasta la vista, baby. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Goodbye, and thanks for all the fish. And that, my friend, is closure. I practiced them again and again, but no matter how hard I tried, how much emphasis I put into them, how much I wished it and willed it, I couldn't get the thrilling feeling of power that I felt when I said them to stick. The sad truth is, even now, after all this time, if he walked through my door, I would beg him to stay. And even sadder, I knew I wouldn't be happy. Yet it seemed I couldn't be happy without him. Men. I sighed, rolling over and trying to get comfortable. You can't live with them. And in my case, that about summed it up. Polly want a crackhead! Polly want a crackhead! I sighed, realising he was still in his cage, and then clambered back out of bed. If he didn't want to leave, I was going to have to give him some encouragement. Initially, I tried to grab him, intending to gently remove him from the cage and place him on the table, but the little bastard was far too fast for me. He darted around the cage, biting me as hard as he could whenever my hand got close. I stopped to rethink the situation and moved to Plan B. Plan B quickly evolved into quite a nasty situation, during which I held the cage up and shook it as hard as I could, while he clung to the bars with his little feet and squawked at the top of his lungs. "Let go! Let go!" I shrieked, in time with my shaking. It all ended quite dramatically, when he lost his grip and ricocheted around the cage before flopping onto the table with his little eyes closed. Shit, I thought. I've actually killed him. Filled with remorse, I picked him up, cradling him in my hands. There, I crooned softly, stroking his feathery neck as tears welled in my eyes. And then one beady eye popped open and glared at me. Apprehensively, I tried to place him back on the table. Unfortunately, I wasn't quite fast enough. Aye! I screeched as he latched onto the delicate skin between my thumb and first finger and bit with all his might. Jumping up and down, yelping, I shook my hand frantically, trying to break his hold. Finally, he launched into the air, and I watched in horror as he smacked into the ceiling before thumping back onto the deck. Oh, crap. I reached out a toe to nudge him and then thought better of it. I waited, breathlessly, staring at him, searching for any signs of life. Finally, he shook himself violently, squawked, "Fucking bitch!" and flew off over the balcony. The whole episode left me feeling hollow and guilty. Pushing thoughts of my mother out of my mind, I clambered back into bed and finally fell asleep. I was woken again at 11:30 a.m. by the burbling of my phone. It was a text from Donna, one of my best friends. "Wake up, Tyra! Don't forget Cafe Mudslide at 12:45. I must have made lunch plans last night. I lifted my head experimentally off the pillow. No agonising pain, no head spin, and no urge to puke. Fantastic. I swung my legs out of bed and stood gingerly, waiting for any nasty side effects. All seemed to be in working order, so I texted Dinah and went to have a shower. Natalie, Dinah and Elaine, my three best friends, were already at the cafe when I arrived. It was evident by the empty coffee cups they had been there a while. I wasn't sure why, but that made me nervous.